Great. I'm so thrilled to be chatting with you again. I think a
Oh,
couple of years ago, I think was the last time I talked to you. And I'm
that's
just
amazing.
a huge fan of Yellowjackets. Oh my goodness. Especially
Oh,
this
good.
season is really good. And yeah, really excited to talk to you. So
Awesome.
um
Awesome. I'm excited to talk to you.
great. So Ty has put her whole political career on hold to be with Van. Do you think she knows deep down that she could have limited time with her, and that's kind of why she's, kind of dropping everything with her life?
Yes, I believe that, she wants what she wants. In season three, she's this other Ty, which, is this side of her personality that just does whatever she wants. And what she wants is love. What she wants is that feeling, that teenage feeling again. So, yeah, that she's going to go for it and
Do you
do
ever
whatever
wonder,
she can.
yeah, do you ever wonder what the news is saying to her? Like, I always think about, like, are they like, this woman, like, she won and then she disappeared. Like, she was a
I
yellow
doubt.
jacket.
Yeah, no. I mean, it probably made some local papers, but one article or two, but not many. I'm from Jersey. They don't give a shit about that stuff.
How much have we seen of the other Ty? Because maybe I'm stupid, but I didn't realize how much she dominated these past couple seasons until Van kind of is like, "You're back." Yeah, I was wondering about that. How much do you think
Yeah.
is other Ty versus regular Ty?
Well, I'll tell you, I have theories. I have a theory that it was other Ty that broke Allie's leg. Like
Yeah.
how long has other Ty been around? These are questions that I ask myself. Um, uh, what I think is so great about Other Tie and what the writers of the show have done is create this thing where you can go back and watch it and be like, oh, wait a second, and there are,
Yeah.
I remember in season one and season two, there were specific moments that were, written out that it was Other Tie. And it doesn't say it in the scene. So I know that there are pieces for people to pick up and go back and look at. And this season, basically, the beginning conversation with the creators of the show uh, was that Other Ty was running the show now. So
Wow. That's
yeah.
that's so interesting. And I was thinking, as an actress, how do you differentiate between them where it's you've got to be different, but you've also got to be seamless because
Mhm.
you're playing a trick on us, and we're
Mhm.
trying to figure it out. But I'm sure that's really hard as an actress.
Yeah, there's a lot of me going, did it work? Did you read that? But so there's a lot of that going on, of faith in the process for sure. But it's such a thrill. I get this one role. I'm playing like four different characters. It's so much fun. That first season, Ty, she's so buttoned up. She's so,
Yeah.
she's so meticulous. And then the second season, Ty, is just so torn apart, and it's just such a thrill as an actor. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Do you think that regular Ty could actually kill someone for Van? I love those scenes this season of them kind of just like figuring out who they're gonna leave a card for, which is like so dark. But I mean, I
So
think,
stupid.
yeah, and I think that Dark, obviously Dark Ty was doing that or other Ty. But do you think that regular Ty would kill for Van? I think she would.
Well, I don't think we've even met regular Ty yet. I think you saw the very first glimpses of regular Ty in the last episode or two of this season. Because the first season Ty would never. She's
Right.
got her eggs, her ducks in a row. She got the perfect life. She would never mess that up. Uh, the real Ty, the actual Ty that I think we all get to meet next season. Oh yeah, yeah, she would kill. She would kill for her.
Wow. I'm so
Yeah,
excited that like there's so many layers to this character and that's so interesting. You're right that
yeah,
she was so buttoned up and now it's like what is the real Ty? Who is the real Ty? That's
yeah.
really interesting. Okay, so the scene where you eat Nan's heart was probably one of my favorite scenes
I
of your
loved it.
scene.
Yeah.
It's so but I was like, I was trying to explain it to a friend, and I'm like, that's their culture. That's what they do. Um,
That's their culture.
what was it like to film that? And were there any like scenes? Was there anything that they cut that like was too graphic? Because I think a lot of fans wanted to see what you were looking at. So I was wondering what it was like to film that.
It was the last time I had to cry for the whole season. So I was like so excited to get it over with because I cried a lot this season and I was like, is that it? Am I done? Oh, it was wonderful. But it was of course very sad. It was my goodbye to Lauren. She was not there for it. I don't even know if she's seen it, but for me it was very sad. It was a I think of that moment as like a baby or something, like I gave life to this moment and I love this moment so much. There was more to the scene, uh, a lot more talking, which is beautiful. Amini wrote an amazing speech for Van, this beautiful eulogy to her and their love. And they, time's sake, I'm just an actor. I'm not in the edit room or anything, so I don't have a say. I do my work and I have to let it go. But it breaks my heart a little bit because it was like a little baby that I had this moment. So that like some of it was taken away, and that it was a little heartbreaking because I did want to honor that moment as best as I could. Because Lauren was a wonderful actor and a wonderful person to get to work with. So I wanted to honor her. It was
Yeah,
awesome. It was a cold morning and I had to cry a lot. It was fucking
even her red hair popping out of the God, her red hair popping out of the rug is such a
it's
unforgettable.
camp. It's high camp,
Yes,
okay?
yes,
Let's just call it what it is.
yes.
Which I
Um,
love.
okay, they bury her in the woods, and I was thinking, does anybody else care about Van? I've seen people talk about this on like where her parents be like, hey, what happened? Or her parents not around. Like, do they ever like? Did you ever talk about that with the writers and directors? Like, we're just ditching this body in the woods. But I also, again, I feel like that's
We actually,
Yellowjackets culture.
yeah, I mean, so that was my whole motivating factor for that scene was the fact that not only is nobody going to know that she's died, but because she's led such a solitary life. But
Yeah.
I'm the only person that will ever know where she is to pay respects.
Oh,
And the whole thing, that was my whole driving factor for that scene. Um, and at one point, Bart, who is one of the creators of the show,
yes.
also directed that episode. He came up before the scene and we sat down and we talked, and he's like, so what's going through your head? And I told him all that. I was like, I'm the
Yes.
only one who's going to know where she's buried. And so, yeah, no, I don't. I think that. I don't know if they're going to use that in the future, but I definitely
Oh,
think it's heartbreaking
yeah,
for
it
Van.
really is. Oh God, that's so beautiful. I also think there's a degree of like, magic. Well, obviously there's like some sort of mystical magic involved, but I was thinking about the fact that
Is
they
there?
is there that's true. Is
Uh,
there
I love
but
that.
the fact that they leave like Hillary's or Melissa's house and they're just like Melissa's family's going to come home and they're going to be like what happened here, where's my rug? But I almost feel like the wilderness takes care of things. Like I feel like
Right, right,
that's
right,
my belief in the wilderness is that like, oh, we that's our suspension of disbelief that the wilderness tidied that up and like somehow everything will be okay. I don't know if you
right.
think that way too.
No, honestly, I think it's the writer's fucking problem. I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I mean, her family's gonna come home at some point. She's all beat up. She's like, got to be remnants of blood. It's got to be a smell. That's not my problem. Not my problem.
So the last scene between you and Misty seems to imply you're going to be working together to take down Shauna, which I'm
Yay.
very excited for. And when I first watched it, I thought Ty was maybe having a conversation with herself.
Uh,
And I didn't know if that was actually how you played it too, at first, or was
no, and then this is why I have to have faith in this show because they really do know what the heck they're doing. I didn't read it like that. I read it as a scene with me and Misty. And
Yeah.
and I knew that they were going to shoot it on me until they revealed Misty. And I was like, okay, I get that because they want to, who is she talking to? But I
Yeah.
did not realize that the majority of people were going to think that I was talking to myself. And I could see it. I watched it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. I would have thought that too. But
Yeah. That's
yeah,
so funny.
it
Um,
is.
do you think that Ty had fun out in the wilderness like Shauna claims they did?
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think she felt really free. She had this love. They had this world that they created. I do think that what younger Ty says, her rationale for not leaving is sincere. She's pragmatic. Pragmatic. You need to clean up the
Yes.
scene. We
Yes.
need to get our ducks in a row. So I do believe that she comes from that place as well. But yeah, I think she does like being out there.
Yeah, that's I see a lot of fans being like, "Oh, it was all just Shauna. She just liked being out there." But I'm like, "No, I think there's a degree of some other people who liked being out there too."
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. This is my silly fun question. So I always like to think that of the women in terms of 90s female musicians. Like Lottie is tied to Tori Amos to me with her music. And
Nice.
Shauna now has PJ Harvey, Natalie's
Love
Courtney
it.
Love. But I haven't figured out you, Misty, or Van. But I was thinking, is there like a 90s either rocker or songstress that you think would be tied to Ty? I mean, I can't listen to Glycerine without thinking of you two, but I didn't know if there's like a
Yeah.
angry girl rocker that Ty would be tied to.
Oh gosh. I gotta think about this. There's a uh angry girl rocker. No.
No.
Uh no. No, I can't really. I'm trying to think of like because I have playlists for all these things, and the one that I have for Ty and Van, uh, Tracy Chapman, she's not angry.
No. It doesn't
Um,
have to be angry, I guess. Just kind of a 90s girl rocker that like you would tie to Ty.
Gosh, no, you'd be better at this than I am. All I could think. I mean, honestly, I didn't listen to a lot of girl rockers in the 90s.
Really?
I no, I was like more Jane's Addiction, the Pixies,
Yeah.
you know, they might
That's
be
so
giants.
That's so fun though, because that does seem like Ty. Maybe Ty doesn't have like because like this is just me the way I've watched like Lottie had like all that Tori Amos music. Shauna,
Yeah,
when they cut Coach Ben's Achilles, had PJ Harvey. And
yeah,
then like Natalie, I think when she in the first episode, like Courtney Love. So I always like associate. But
yes.
yeah,
Oh
but I
my
have
God, that's so good. No, yeah, maybe we'll find out in the fourth
yeah,
season.
maybe, yeah. But now I can't
Yeah.
listen to Glycerine without thinking of you. So
I
yeah,
love that. Ah, well, that's
yeah,
good because that's a good
yeah,
song.
yeah. Thank you so much for this. Congratulations. I just
Thank
love,
you.
adore the work you're doing, and I love
Oh,
Yellowjackets
thanks.
so much. So it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, I'll talk to you next time. All right.
Okay, yes, yes. I know we need
All
that
right.
season 4 renewal. Oh my
I
God.
know it's
Well,
coming.
it's coming. I
Well,
figured.
all right. Knock
Yeah,
on wood. Knock on wood.
yes.
All right.
Okay. See you later.
Nice
Thank
talking
you
to
so
you.
much.
Take care. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.